Starting different. We're never starting over. We are always starting different, especially with all the changes going on today. What is essential? What is fundamental in helping you optimize your customer's experience? I refer to these as the essentials. This week, we're on week number 3, and I'm going to teach you to use a tool so simple you can use even the back of a bar napkin. Most of my coaching happens in the back of a bar. I don't know if that's because of me or just the clients I pick, but behavior number 3 is about making a difference and about being the solution. Now I'm going to share with you a quote from a dear friend of mine, Dr. Bill Crawford. But before I do that, before I paraphrase Dr. Bill, I just want to say making a difference is the outcome of a process. And I'm going to teach you that process today. You can have extraordinary results with your team and with your customers if you do certain things, if you make better decisions. And you have to be a smart leader to be able to do those things. So if you had a bar napkin, the first thing I'd have you do is I'd have you open up the bar napkin. That's what you see here. I'd have you draw a line down the middle and a line across the center and put a big triangle in the center, the universal symbol for change, for difference. Because I believe that is the center of everything we do with customers. And this process map is the main component of the first book I wrote, The One-Page Sales Coach. And OPSC is also the acronym for the 4 boxes I'm going to fill out here. But here's the quote from Dr. Bill. If making a difference is the center of what we do, if it's our core belief, then everything that takes us away from that center takes us farther from our highest purpose. Anything that takes us closer to that center takes us closer to truth and wisdom and our highest purpose. And I want you to know you're all here to make a difference. And this very simple process, I'm going to outline it for you. We'll have this filled in by the time we're done. And by the way, this is shown in that first book, which if you want it, it's out on Amazon, or send me a note and I can send you this graphic. But I'm going to walk you through a process to achieve extraordinary results when you're interacting with customers. But first, a couple of definitions. First, the definition of difference, meaning not the same. Your goal is to make a difference in your customers' worlds. In order to do that, you're going to have to go on a voyage of discovery and find out where they are now. Outcome is a result of an effect or an action. So if we want to make a difference, that's an outcome. Another way of defining outcome is a final product or a result. It's a conclusion reached through a process. So there's a process to making a difference. But we need to focus a little bit on this word for a second, because difference to the brain means danger. And I'll review the brain science with you in a moment. And danger triggers decisions, especially in today's environment where there's all this change happen. One decision might be to freeze, to make no decision at all. So if you don't want your clients or your team members to freeze, you need to eliminate their risk. The way doctors eliminate risk is the same way the old-time sales trainers told us to eliminate risk, to diagnose before we prescribe. So success in selling is not about making a commission. Success in selling is about making a difference. Success in business is about making a difference. But remember, difference means danger. And the brain only has 2 goals, folks. Number 1, to keep you alive. That person is focused on their survival and to save energy, to use as little energy as possible to keep them alive. So they're looking for patterns, shortcuts, and they like when you follow patterns. The other thing that they like is when you make processes visual to them. 90% of all the brain's energy is used processing visual stimuli. If you want to make more of a difference, you need to make more of what you're working through with your client visual to them. So take out that bar napkin. And if you don't have a bar napkin, take out a sheet of paper. It's not as much fun. Take out a sheet of paper though, draw a line down the center and a line across the middle, just like this. And we're gonna fill the 4 boxes in, just like you see on this screen up in the top left where it says OPSC. Those are gonna be the 4 boxes that we go through. So if I could draw on the screen a little bit here, I would actually draw a bar napkin and I would take my pen, just like this. I draw a line down the center. I draw a line across the middle, I draw a triangle in the center. Our focus is that center to make a difference. Top left, remember, your focus is what's in it for your clients. Their focus is on their survival. So in the top left box, I would like you to label this box with the word problem and in parentheses, write the word before. That's where your client is right now, before the prescription you're going to give them. I want to ask you a question. Can you see their world in 3D? Hold on, let me grab a different color pen here. Boop, let me go like this. Can you see their world in 3D? How much do you know about the problems in their world in terms of data that you've gathered? How much do you know about the dollars that you're going to be impacting? What goes up or down based on this problem from a financial perspective? And third, what's the delta? Your goal is to understand how to take them from their problems to a better world, your solutions. Problems before you, solutions after you. So the top half of this OPSC model is you learning about them. What do you know about them? What do you know is at risk for them? Think about these 3Ds, dollars, data, and delta, whatever order you want, but you need to see their world in 3D. Now, because this is a voyage of shared discovery, you want your client to see you in 3D also. The 3Ds for you, though, are down here in terms of the outcomes you provide. What do you do? Who have you done it for? And can you oh my gosh, what a mess. Can you demonstrate their results? It's the bad shoulder, folks. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to go to the drawn in portion of this. So top left on your sheet of paper, you should have filled this out with the word problems and solutions. Bottom left, I'd like you to write the word outcomes, and I want you to recognize we're filling in OPSC, which is the one-page sales coach. To the degree to which you can see the top half, you can create framing for them based on what's going on in their world, based on how well you see their current situation. The bigger the delta, the bigger the difference you're making. The bottom half of this chart is how well they understand your world. Do they understand what you can do, who you've done it for, and can you demonstrate very simply the results that others have gotten? Now, in my training course, I refer to this as your 3D diploma, but the fastest way to help anyone see, remember, video is the ancient Latin word to see and to understand what you're proposing, is to show them what others have already done with you. So that's a very simple overview of the OPSC model, which is a consultative sales model. Whether you read Neil Rackham's book, Spin Selling, which was wonderful, or Mac Hannon's book, Consultative Selling, or the New Solution Selling books by Keith Eads, they all come down to these 4 boxes. So remember, customer testimonials, the fastest way for you to make things visual for this customer, show them what other customers have done. We've talked about this in the past with a prior behavior. In behavior number 1 and behavior number 2, which I shared in the last 2 weeks, I talked about testimonials, I talked about reducing friction, because what you do matters. If you want to get people moving forward with you this week, a forcing mechanism you can use is the OPSC model. Remember, make a difference, be a solution, put making a difference at the center of everything you do, and create a model for you and your team to follow as a checklist to make sure you're doing that. This is one of the fastest ways, folks, for you to eliminate the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. Did you ever get off a call, get out of a meeting and say, oh, we could have done this. If we only would have done this, well, we should have done this. Well, this OPSC model is a way for you to check yourself. It's also a way for you to make sure you're making as big a difference as you can. The bottom line is you want to achieve extraordinary customer experiences. You need to focus on your behaviors and your team's behavior. Let's link the value this week of making a difference to the behavior of always looking to be the solution. Thank you for your time. I'll talk to you next weekend. Take care.